Hi, I'm Morgan Trumbull, and this is SBC PTI. I'm here with Drew, I'm here with Alan, and today we're going to talk about whether there should be a salary cap in the MLB. Alan?
Yeah, I honestly do not think that there should be a salary cap in the MLB. Reason being, sure, you have your small market teams at a disadvantage. However, is that really because they're a small market, or is it because their owners are bad? We ought to think about that. And also, if a big market team has those big rich media contracts, I don't see why they can't use all of that money on free agents and trades. So I really don't see the problem with what the MLB is doing right now.
That's true. The owners sometimes can be a little stingy, but the thing is, I'm looking at the NFL, and the NFL has a very good cap system. They have a hard cap, and you can not go over that cap, and that's that. I think that teams that spend 300, this is a personal opinion, but teams that spend $300 million to win a World Series title are still legitimate, but I am far more impressed when a team that's only spent like $150 million only spent $150 million to win a World Series. I think that team is far more impressive than someone who just basically buys a ring.
Very, very true. However, would you say that, the Dodgers, the Yankees, they have, they're in a big market. They got a lot of money. I would say if you got a lot of money, the best thing you could do with it is use it. And that's what they do.
I think, just to butt in a little bit, do you think that getting rid of the salary cap and not having a salary cap would even more alienate the smaller market teams because they wouldn't be in contention at all?
Adding a salary cap brings down the amount of money a large market team can give to a player that comes from a small market team. For example, when the Reds, speaking on the field only, when the Reds traded for Trevor Bauer, right, we knew that we would only get a year and a half from Trevor Bauer. We kind of got robbed of that year and a half with the 60-game season. But, we were all hoping he'd re-sign with the Reds, but, he didn't because the Dodgers offered him $350 million, which the Reds simply can't match. And it's going to happen again with Nick Castellanos this year. He's probably going to opt out and take $200 million from, the Yankees or something. And it's going to happen with Jesse Winker when he hits free agency. He's going to take $200 million that the Reds can't give him. And I think a salary flooring cap, a salary floor brings spending from the Rays and the Athletics up, and it takes it down and it increases parity amongst the league.
I see where you're going. I do. But it's not the Dodgers and, Yankees' fault that they have more money than the other, the Reds, the Tigers, the Rays of the world. So I guess my thing is, if you want to offer, a player $350 million, let it be a player that has a proven track record. And I think that the salary cap can kind of take that away. But also, I think, what Morgan said about alienating the smaller market teams, because a lot of the smaller market teams invest their money on the minor leagues. Don't you think that the salary cap can kind of take away a lot of that spending?
No, because, the teams have enough money. Franchise values have only been going up. TV deals have only been going up. Media deals have only been going up. Sponsorship money has only been going up. So there's no lack of money. It's the singular person at the top that either refuses to spend money or spends a lot, I think way too much of it. I feel less impressed at the Yankees or the Dodgers because whenever they have an issue, they just throw money at it. And they say the Dodgers are all homegrown talents. Well, the only reason for that is because all these great homegrown talents stay in LA because that's where the big contracts are. It's just, it feels unfair to teams like the Reds and the Rays and, the Tigers. I mean, obviously there's other factors in this other than just money. But, it feels like I'm bored of the Dodgers winning 100 games every year. I'm bored of the Yankees being the favorites every year. I'm bored of that. I want small market teams like the Rays did last year. I want them to be good. I want to give the Rays front office, I want to give them Dodgers money, and I want to see what they do.
See, I think that The Yankees are a huge market team. There's no arguing that. They have
Second highest salary.
they have so much money. But looking at them this year, they have not been amazing. They have
That is maybe like, but they're still paying their players. Like that may be more of an issue within the team itself rather than the money issue.
So I think that kind of goes to money doesn't necessarily mean everything in this case. Like,
No, definitely not. As
You
the
could've
C Rays
listened.
last year, like $70 million payroll, World Series nearly beat the Dodgers.
Well, and my thing is, you mentioned how the sponsorship deals are going up, the TV markets are going up. Don't you think that would kind of bring the small market teams closer to the big market teams as far as money is concerned?
Well, it should, yes, but I mean another issue here is cheap owners. I think cheap owners should be not allowed to own teams because it just hurts the league, honestly.
Yeah.
I would rather have 15 80 plus win teams than like 5 95 plus win teams and like 5 60 or under win teams. I want more parity in the league. That's like I said that in the NBA too. Like stop forming super teams. I would rather see more 45 50 win teams rather than like 170 win team. Like it's just more exciting, it's better for the league and get more people watching. Like, what's the point if you already know the Dodgers are going to beat the Tigers? Like there should be some level of parity. You should go into the season feeling optimistic about your chances.
Yes, but who's to say the Dodgers would beat the Tigers? I mean, like the Yankees are proving this year, money does not necessarily mean you're a World Series contender. I don't think that because, I mean, if the only reason that teams won the World Series is because of the big markets, we'd be seeing Yankees and Dodgers every year. So, I mean, sure, the Yankees and Dodgers do spend a lot of money, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be good. Now, does that higher their chances of being World Series contenders? Absolutely it does. But you still have, what if we overpaid him? What if we, what if our manager just isn't the right guy? So there's still plenty of questions besides a salary cap. So I do not think that just because a team spends more money, it's because that they're going to be good. Now, that's probably a good base of how teams are going to be. But you can't say, oh, well, this team has a high payroll, so they're automatically a good team. No, that's not how it works. So really, I think that it's more of the management in how you spend your money in terms of who you spend it on than just throwing your money at the 30-year-old guy that just went to the All-Star break, but went to the All-Star game, but never did anything before that. So that's another thing too.
I mean, I think we do agree on that. Like I think that the front office aspect of the game is very important, and I think it's interesting to see how teams spend their money, and that's why in the NFL it's interesting. Like, what kind of acrobatics can you pull? What are you gonna sacrifice to get another game? I think it should be choosing between like $15 million salary for like a decent second baseman and like a $30 million for a star outfielder rather than just $30 million and $30 million. I think you should have to make choices. Like it's just like the Reds, like teams like the Reds, they have to choose. Teams like the Yankees can just throw bundles of money at it.
I think that there's still a lot of debate left in this, but I think we have all come to one conclusion, and that is if you're a cheap owner, stop. I'm Morgan Tremmel. This is Drew. This is Alan, and this has been our PTI. Thank you for coming.
So